Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, what she had to say.
Yeah, what was she saying? Something about Trump? She was saying that she didn't really watch him, see him with minors or something like that.
Yeah, she was, and I think she even said that he was a good guy.
She said, "I admire him."
Admire him.
So gross. Like, is that supposed to be a compliment if she says that?
Don't you feel like it's she's kind of trying to get out of something?
100%.
Right?
How else is she gonna get out of it?
Yeah, they moved her to this cushy place, and now she's saying this.
But even the way she said it, she's like, "I admire him for how he became president, the way where he is now." Like that's kind of suspect, no? That she
for sure.
It's kind of like I feel like she's insinuating, like, oh, what kind of man he was, and now he's a president.
Yeah. She also said she doesn't think that Epstein committed.
Yeah.
Which everyone's
a lot of people say.
Yeah, no shit, right? The whole world thinks that.
Yeah.
In Vancouver, there's somebody was swimming in a public pool, and they were teaching their kid how to swim.
Yeah.
And they blocked them from doing that. And like, if you do it again, you get banned.
What the hell?
Yeah. So apparently, some people are like pissed off about it.
Isn't that what you do with your kid when you're swimming?
What was the reason? They're saying like safety issues?
And no, I think they just don't want people teaching people how to swim in
they want to make
pools.
Money off it. Like,
it's not a money thing, or it's like it annoys people. That's kind of thing. I don't know, because like I was thinking about it then. At first I was like, I could see both sides, and I was like, what do you do with like ice rinks? Right, like if you take your kid to an ice rink, and they don't know how to skate.
If I think about it though, like fun swim, like you guys went to it growing up, right?
Yeah.
Imagine someone's just like doing laps. Like you're just there to play and have fun, and you're like throwing a ball or whatever you're doing, and people are trying to teach. Like that, I would get involved.
Yeah, but like at a free skate,
think that was a rule even like here.
Yeah, but it's not highly enforced, right? If somebody's in the shallow end and they're just like teaching a kid how to float. Or I don't know exactly what the situation was, but there's a little bit of
bring it up. I feel like that is a rule.
Yeah, okay. It might be a rule. Like if you're trying to Olympic swim and you're like backstrokes,
it depends on how much space you're taking up, I guess.
Yeah. If you're just teaching your kid how to like float and it's something that's not so serious, I don't think you should be like a lifeguard should be like, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Canada is lifting its retaliatory tariffs.
Aren't both sides lifting their tariffs?
I don't know. Trump kept doing this on again, off again thing, compliant with the USMCA, exempt this, that, and the other. So I guess this is just negotiations elevating. Then we'll talk about if it's good to drink from a water bottle that's been left in your car.
Oh, is that not good? I do that shit all the time.
Next, there's a new study that shows people in one country age slower than the rest of the world.
Well, I'm aging rapidly, so might have to move.
And if what? I was going to say me and you both might have to move. Screw changing your lifestyle, right? Just move to a different country.
Or that, yeah.
And last, we got a man was charged for defending himself during a break-in.
Yeah, this story was ridiculous, man.
I mean, it's got a lot of Canadian politicians talking, and it kind of opens up the gate a little bit about some of the stupid laws that Canada has.
Some of them. A lot of them, yeah. Over in sports, we got Jake Paul's taking on Tank Gervonta Davis.
Bro, there's like a foot height difference.
Yeah.
Man.
Not to mention the weight, but I don't know. We'll see. Cormier was on Shannon Sharp's podcast and had some choice words about Jon Jones.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is about Jon Jones or if it's about, how he actually feels about his Mount Rushmore, right?
I think he's a little petty.
You think so?
For sure. Lost him like 3 times. John Wall officially retired. Might be the GOAT Wizard, Washington Wizard.
I think people forget how amazing John Wall was as a player, bro.
Dude, John Wall.
Yeah, and then what do we got? Anything else there?
We got Shaq is inducting Dwight Howard in the Hall of Fame.
That's ironic, no?
Yeah. Considering all the beef there.
All that shit that started over the Superman thing, I think that's mainly what it was, right?
From what I remember.
And then they elevated, but they squashed it now.
Yeah.
Right?
So for off topic, we got Justin Bieber, Serena Williams.
Okay.
And stay tuned for the question segment at the
end. is lifting its retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. And it's got a lot of people talking, criticizing Carney, but here's a clip of Carney talking about it.
Be absolutely clear. Canada currently has the best trade deal with the United States. And while it's different from what we had before, it is still better than that of any other country. So as we work to address outstanding trade issues with the United States, it's important, it's vital. We do everything we can to preserve this unique advantage for Canadian workers, Canadian businesses. And doing so will require both building on a soon-to-be revised CUSMA, our free trade agreement with the U.S. and Mexico, as well as developing a new form of trade and security partnership with the United States. In this context, and consistent with Canada's commitment to CUSMA,
Get to the point.
I'm announcing today that the Canadian government will now match the United States by removing all of Canada's tariffs on U.S. goods specifically covered under CUSMA.
After he said that, Trump responded with this.
Actually, Canada is taking away some retaliatory tariffs.
He's removing his tariffs, yeah.
Exactly.
He's removing his retaliatory tariffs, which I thought was nice. And we're going to have another call soon.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a very good call.
You're getting closer towards the
Well, I like
agreement on trade.
I like them. You know, look, I'm fighting for the United States. Canada and Mexico
Right.
take a lot of our business over the years, over 25, 30 years, especially during the Biden years. They took a lot of our business, and it's basically all coming back into the United States now. We're hot as a pistol, and it's coming back in because of tariffs and the incentives we give. It's coming back, and it's impossible, I think, for another country to stop it. And we are working on something. We want to be very good to Canada. I like Carney a lot. I think he's a good person, and we had a very good talk yesterday. So I think it'll be good.
My good buddies, right?
A little. Oh, obviously, if you're gonna lift the retaliatory tariffs, right? He's gonna like it, right?
Yeah,
I was just thinking when I saw those two clips, there's a difference in the way that Carney responds to the media
for sure.
versus a veteran in the game in terms of speaking to the media, right? Like right away, he was like faster. He's just like, I'm gonna reply.
I was just looking at this guy's hat that you pointed out too. It says I was right about everything.
Yeah.
This guy's the president. Yeah,
He went and got it made.
Yeah, no,
probably
that's,
selling them, right? I'm guessing.
oh yeah. If you ever see this True Social account, like you would think it's fake. The amount of shit that they sell there, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, for this, I feel like, you saw the auto tariffs, right? This is about the three main sectors, right?
Yeah,
you have lumber, auto, steel, and aluminum, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much all they're negotiating. With the auto, we saw it on again, off again,
Yeah.
right? And it was, first, I think it was anything that's USMCA compliant was exempt.
Or Cosma.
Or
Kuzma.
Kuzma. And then he lifted that exemption.
Yeah.
And then I think he said that auto parts are exempt, but cars aren't. But I think as of today, it's whatever cars go into the U.S. are hit with a 25% tariff,
Yeah.
and whatever auto parts they're exempt from the tariffs, right?
But wasn't it always whatever's compliant with Kuzma or USMCA didn't get tariffed? It was always like that, right? From
Not
the US side.
Not really. So they use this thing called Section 232, which is a national emergency. That's why you saw him do the whole fentanyl crisis
Okay.
and migrant crisis.
Yeah.
It was all just a push to like get Section 232.
You just
so they
wanted
could
an
invoke it.
excuse.
Yeah. So then they could be like, we can now go around USMCA. And then Canada retaliating. I don't know if you guys remember that whole thing that Trudeau put out where he's like orange juice, or whatever.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
saying. All of those things, majority of those things were under USMCA,
Yeah.
right? And they were still attacking them, right? But the rest of it, and I heard a lot of people talking about lumber, how it's going to hit lumber, but softwood lumber's always been a trade dispute
Yeah.
between Canada and the US. It's not part of Kuzma,
Yeah.
right? And then steel and aluminum, that's kind of all up in there. It's a part of it, but like that's slapped with a 50% tariff.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a couple of businesses I follow on Instagram that recently wrote like they're no longer doing international orders like after this came out.
Mhm.
Why are it's like local stores and stuff.
Well,
I'm concerned.
I think what ends up happening here is that whenever he's going to cut retaliatory tariffs, the Canadian consumer, those products are going to be cheaper for you, right? Which sounds like, oh, that's great, right? But then the Canadian business owner, whoever competes with those products, it's going to be harder for them. Right, especially when some of these raw materials are tariffs and stuff, right? So it's going to impact the businesses, right? So then, if you're pissed off, you're going to be like, "Yeah, we're not doing international orders, and we're not selling to the States or whatever," right? Whenever he lifts these tariffs, right, it affects Canadian business owners, right, and small business owners, and ultimately affects the Canadian economy, right? And I feel like that kind of goes over people's heads, right? They just don't care about those kind of things. But ultimately, what would happen? You're more reliant on the U.S. then.
Exactly. And you can't even really blame the consumer, right? You're going to go for the cheapest price wherever you
can't
get
blame
it.
The consumer. Yeah. Well, what I feel like is going to happen, I don't think this is going to last too long.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to see USMCA get reviewed next year. I think in June or July is when they start opening up negotiations for it.
Yeah.
Once that happens, a lot of these are going to be the big issues that they're going to try to resolve or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see this, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
Right? I think the last time they did this, it lasted for a year.
Yeah.
Right.
It does feel like it's closer to a resolution now, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're doing this, dropping the tariffs. But now your leverage is gone because you totally caved, right? Like you were saying in those two videos, who seemed he's like, he lowered his tariffs. He lowered them, right?
Okay.
Like he was going to. We got him.
Okay.
That was the energy that he had, right?
That is the energy he had. But before we respond to and criticize Carney here, Polyev had a couple things to say about this.
Okay.
Happy to hear that he got the president on the phone. I know that Mr. Carney has been trying to do that now for about a month. And today, the president accepted his call. And the prime minister took the opportunity to make a series of very generous concessions to President Trump. And I was expecting that when the call was reported, that we'd find that President Trump had given us something in return. That Mr. Carney, being the negotiator he promised he would be, that he would get something after giving something. But not so. Today we learn that it has been yet another capitulation and climb down by Mark Carney. His elbows have mysteriously gone missing. And this call follows on other concessions. He promised during the campaign he would have dollar for dollar retaliation. He pulled that back. He made concessions on the military while getting nothing in return. He pulled back on his digital services tax, a terrible tax, but you'd think he'd get something in return for it. Nothing. And today, he removed even almost all of the tariffs on the United States and got none lifted from Canada.
Driving liberals insane, man.
He's
back.
so sarcastic the way he talks.
And he's just going like he's still running for an election. Like it's going to be...
Yeah. It seems a little campaigny, for lack of better words, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's a little bit necessary because you're giving Carney pushback, right? Which you have to do, right?
For sure.
But to defend Carney a little bit here, the goods that Trudeau decided to tariff, right?
Yeah.
It's not really, it's kind of stupid to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? It hurts the U.S. economy. Sure, they were targeted in a certain way. But if you're going to tariff Kuzma compliant goods, right, and you're going to get angry at the U.S. for doing the same, it's kind of hypocritical.
Yeah, when you guys had the whole agreement that nobody's going to tax these.
Yeah.
And then you start doing it.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, this was inevitable, especially if you're going to start negotiating with the U.S. again, right?
Yeah.
I just find it weird that it's lasting this long. Like, how do you get to a place where like nobody's really picking up the phone, no negotiations are moving forward, you're kind of just jumping all over the place with these like on again, off again tariffs and stuff, right? And just when it seems like you're gonna have a deal, there is no deal. Right? And then like all of this stuff, the DST going away and everything else with the tariffs, right? Like the campaign that he runs on, right? And the whole thing. We've talked this to death, right? So I don't want to keep saying it. But it's kind of like if you were going to do dollar for dollar tariffs and that was your whole a point of your entire campaign.
Yeah.
Right. And then now you're going to back up off of that. A little part of you has to explain or be like, why,
Have some reasoning. Yeah.
Right. Or Canadians need to at least be like, why'd you run on something that, wasn't important? Instead, what tends to happen is some people just change with the narrative.
Yeah.
Right. And then they'll be like, yeah, it's not bad. Right. To begin with, I thought retaliatory tariffs weren't the greatest idea.
The greatest idea would have been to get a deal done, right?
Yeah.
But like the part that irks me is Carney and his whole voter base. What were they always saying? Oh, if Polyev gets elected, he's gonna be buddy with Trump, right? In that video, I just saw a guy who said I like him like 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Carney. I really like him.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they're buddies, right?
Yeah, but to give you pushback there, he's also said like they've had very poor leadership. He's also another poor leader. Right, Trump is just gonna say whatever's. If somebody does something good, that's good for him. He's gonna like them.
Yeah,
and that's just who he is, right? And if somebody does something that's a little bit negative, he's gonna act the other way. But at the end of the day, what Polyev was saying there, he is like a little bit pushing, the same stuff that he's pushing in the campaign, which I don't really hate. I saw a Time article where they were like, he needs to hang it up now, right? It's time for Polyev to go or whatever, right? As if that's a smart thing to do, right?
Exactly.
Like, I think whatever he's doing is necessary, and I think he should continue doing it.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit cringy when he goes to campaign mode-ish, right? Which I feel like he needs to get into the house where he'll stop doing that.
Yeah.
But like, I think on the other side of it, what Carney's doing, like he kind of I don't know if he's just not in my algorithm and I don't see him enough.
Yeah.
He kind of disappears.
Because he doesn't really do anything. He's always on vacation, right?
I did see that he's going to Europe to secure trade deals or something. Right? I think he's going to Latvia because
I think Belgium.
Yeah, Brussels, Germany. He's going to he's going to a couple of places, and I think he's going to Latvia because I think that's one of the biggest military. I think we have like 2,000 troops out there or something along those lines.
It always rubs me the wrong way when this guy just runs off to Europe right away, just because of prior connections there and all that. I don't know.
I don't hate it. Like I've said it before, I don't hate it as long as we get something for Canada over there. Right? If something happens for Canada, then I'm with it.
My thing is like, no matter what, it's always going to cost more to get something here in a ship or a plane versus driving it across the border, right? So you got a problem in your own backyard. Why diversifying trade is always good. You should diversify everything in your life, right? It's just a better approach, right? Risk management. But you got a problem in your backyard. That should be a sole focus. Get this trade deal done and then look elsewhere.
Yeah, I think a little part, even outside of like looking elsewhere, Canada's got a little bit of a capitalism problem, right? We've leaned too much on the socialism side of things, right? Or social democratic, whatever you want to label it as, right? There's a lot of social welfare programs going on, not a lot of incentivizing businesses and capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of leads you into this mess, right? You don't have enough that your country is producing, kind of relies solely on GDP. The whole entire GDP kind of relies on real estate, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only way that people get rich in Canada, right? So if you're not going to move off of that somewhat, incentivize businesses in any type of way, right, you're going to eventually get here, right? But if I am going to play devil's advocate and defend Carney a little bit, the tariff stuff is a little bit overblown. The economy is kind of in a shithole anyways right now. And I think somewhere around 85% of the goods that go back and forth from US to Canada, they're all covered under Kuzma and there's 0% tariff. Let's move on to these plastic water bottles.
Plastic water bottles.
So there's this article, which is the question, is it true that you should not drink from plastic water bottles left in a hot car?
Damn.
The science? Microplastics, plastic particles smaller than 5 millimeters, are in our food, water, clothing, personal care products, cosmetics, and environment. And it's in everything. And plastic water bottles, under certain circumstances, these bottles, particularly single-use ones, as they are not as durable, can release plastic particles along with chemicals and metals into the water, research shows. Single-use plastic bottles are made of a thin plastic known as polyethylene terephthalate, or PET. A 2023 study found that 4 common plastics, including polyethylene, that were weathered using a UV light chamber and in an incubator set to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit released microplastics, microparticles, and nanoparticles. Control samples that were kept in the dark 40-degree refrigerator, however, released few to no particles. Health risks from a single incident are probably low, but I would be cautious about repeated or chronic exposures. Additionally, once you start drinking, try not to leave the rest of the liquid in a warm environment, as the heat could contribute to the growth of pathogens, she cautioned. So I guess that's one of the professors there or something.
Yeah.
Microplastics, and particularly nanoplastics, which are smaller than 1 micrometer, can penetrate biological tissue in the liver, kidney, colon, placenta, lung, brain, and heart, and enter blood cells and even breast milk. Plastics can also contain chemicals such as phthalates that have been linked to health problems such as pregnancy issues and neurodevelopmental concerns. I feel like we've talked about microplastics and stuff before, right?
Yeah.
And for me personally, honestly, I never used to really care about this shit too much.
Yeah.
Right? But then since we started talking, because I've heard about it, read the articles about it, bro.
Yeah.
But once we started doing deep dives into it a little bit on the podcast and stuff, I kind of changed, man. Like now I use metal water bottles.
Yeah.
I can't even say water bottle. What do I keep doing? Water bottles.
I'm definitely more cognizant of it, like microplastics, than I've ever cared about before.
Right?
Probably because we talk about it so much, right?
Yeah.
I kind of just see plastic everywhere, though.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable.
I could imagine though, like a water bottle sitting in the heat, like something must leach into the water.
I mean, I'm
How does it
guilty of
know?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like if you leave it in a car cup holder,
Yeah.
right?
And
Or
the plastic's so flimsy too. Like,
you know what? The other thing I feel like people don't think about when it comes to plastic water bottles, you don't know where they're stored.
yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Or
How
how
they're
they were,
stored,
or how long they've been on a shelf in
Exactly.
direct
Yeah, they could have
sunlight,
been
and then
sitting-
ended up on a truck,
Exactly.
then ended up at Costco, and then you bought this 28 pack or whatever
Yeah.
it is, right?
Mhm.
Like, who knows,
Yeah.
right? Microplastics can be all up in there,
Yeah.
right? Like you have no clue.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you go down the rabbit hole and you start getting paranoid, it's a little weird because then you can do research that the plastic lid alone
Yeah.
could also have just as much microplastics as a plastic
Yeah.
bottle. So,
Holy-
but then you would have to get like a BPA free lid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because then sometimes people go all metal, and then it's like the metal shavings from the turning.
Oh,
you know,
no.
if you want to get crazy,
You can't avoid
can.
it. There's
Yeah.
something wrong with everything.
But I feel like if you get like a metal water bottle that's it doesn't have water. I can't
just keep
saying
saying
water bottle, and I keep saying it. Right? I feel like if you get the BPA friendly like lid on the inside, and like it's stainless steel or whatever, or
So
surgical
many
steel.
steps, man. They're so complicated.
I don't think it's that complicated. I never used to care, and I've completely changed my mindset on that.
Even I think about like all kids things, you give them plastic because you don't want them to break it, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it now, like all their food utensils, their
Yeah.
plates, cups, it's
Yeah.
all plastic.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it everywhere. Even like I was the Invisalign. I had it for a while, and then
Yeah.
I was like,
You tripped out?
"Isn't this plastic? I'm just sucking
Yeah.
on plastic all day. Like, what the hell?"
Bro, I recently switched my entire like
see it
toiletry
everywhere.
regimen
Yeah,
into like this
Natural.
Yeah, and bro, like because I was like, okay, I looked into deodorant. And I was like, it should be aluminum free.
yeah.
So
I
now-
went down that rabbit hole.
Bro, I have this natural organic deodorant
Yeah.
that I'm trying now. Even shampoo and conditioner, right?
parabens and
But
stuff.
then how far do you go? Because even with toothbrushes, you know, the plastic bristles
Yeah.
on toothbrushes,
Yeah.
like that's not good for you either.
Yeah.
Some people use like bamboo toothbrushes.
Right.
So are you gonna switch to that?
Taking it old school. That's what they do in the parent hill.
Yeah, doctor or whatever that's called. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You can go as far as you want.
Yeah.
I feel like where I drew the line because I was like, it was,
I drew the line
Issues.
at toothpaste. I'm
Yeah,
like,
she's
don't come at me with natural toothpaste. I
some
need
sticky ass
fluoride.
breath. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need breath strips. I need fluoride. I don't need that.
Yeah. I
Like-
mean, even the deodorant, I feel like I'm trying it. If it works, it's fine. But
Yeah.
if it smells, then you got to change, bro.
Yeah, you
I
don't want to
can't
walk around smelly.
right?
Yeah. I think like the most important part is like being cognizant of it, and something's better than nothing.
Mm.
You don't have
For
to
sure. Like
go-
some changes, right?
Yeah, you don't have to go to extreme. Right?
Oh, you know how guys are. Like I used to be the 3-in-1 body wash.
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
it's like a
Hair, body,
It says 3-in-1. I'm like, this is great,
Goes
right? Like
everywhere.
shampoo,
Yeah.
face, body wash.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
good, right?
yeah.
So slowly you switch it up. Even now because I switched up to like soap.
Yeah.
That's like doesn't have like harmful phthalates
Like
and all
bar
this shit. in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I bought like bar soap and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then you can't wash your face with that. It's not the 3-in-1 I'm used to, right? So then I had to buy face wash and like all that shit's expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's not like how
That's the other thing. Yeah, it costs a lot more to do it this way, right?
Yeah.
But that's how women have always been doing it. I never used 3-in-1, nothing.
Never.
Always face wash, body wash, everything separate.
Yeah, when she asked me, she's like, "Do you use face wash or what face wash do you use?" I was like,
Nah, what the hell's facial?
the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I like
I'll put it
forgot
on my
mine
face.
once, and I'm like, let me use your face wash. He's like,
What the hell is that?
a 5-in-1.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I even read an article where they found, I don't know if it's true, but microplastics in like ovaries and in sperm. So like, you know how you mentioned pregnancy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That like years and years of using plastic is affecting fertility rates.
At least they're looking at it now. Like I feel like nobody knew
But
about
how
this.
do you take that shit out?
I don't know.
Like it's just going to be there now.
plastic's embedded into our culture
Our
now.
DNA.
How do you get rid of our DNA? Right? It's in our bodies. She was like liver, heart, it affects everything.
Yeah,
Right?
like,
I
I
think
think we need to evolve as humans and just be okay with having microplastics
Just
in our
start eating
blood.
it.
I don't know. I've seen like somebody, a doctor talk about how it shrinks like the male taint.
Yeah.
Like
I
how
think
it's-
Rogan had that doctor on, right? That's the first time I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then BPAs, all this. And they were saying you eat like a credit card.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were saying that in
Yeah.
one of our first podcasts.
Yeah, a credit card worth of
Per a day.
No, it was a week.
microplastics.
It was a week.
It was
But it was a whole credit card.
Yeah, it's a whole
Imagine.
credit card,
That's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I feel like what you like, I'm drawing the line for myself because I don't want to be like incredibly anal because I've judged those kind of people all my whole
Yeah,
life, right?
yeah.
That I only buy organic, right?
Yeah.
You still judge that.
I still do because like a lot of that organic stuff is a marketing
It's just
play,
a sticker.
Yeah.
right? Like it's just a sticker. None of that shit's really organic. Like even if you're doing this stuff,
Yeah.
like when I first started researching, what kind of you have to go into their ingredients and look at it. That's why
It's a lot of work, right? Yeah.
So I just like to pick the shit that's like you can get either on Amazon or something you can easily pick up at a grocery. I'm not doing some, the direct to consumer shit where you have to buy a specialized website, get it shipped and all this. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
Right? Like whatever you can find on Amazon is good enough for me.
Yeah.
You just check the ingredients and if you find a product or a brand name you like, you just roll with it.
For sure,
Right?
yeah,
That's kind of where I am with it. I don't want to be too anal.
Yeah.
But I feel like, if you can eliminate it out of your water,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm not the kind of person that really drinks like soda drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just mainly just coffee and water. It's basically all I drink, right? So if you can eliminate it, you can eliminate a lot of it in terms of like
Even like
plastic.
takeout containers. Like we try not to eat out so much because think about all that. It's
Yeah.
all plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Even the coffee, we moved to like a regular coffee maker because those
Oh,
K
you're
cups,
saying- Yeah.
those are plastic too.
Yeah. And
I was just drinking those every day.
and think about that, right? Like I don't know the science behind it, but you have a plastic cup, right? You're constantly
Hot
heating
water.
it, hot water. You're like basically it's telling you not to do it in a hot car. Every
You're-
morning
you're melting
it. Give me some
And
microplastic.
like with the car thing, if you leave a water bottle in a warm environment, bacteria grows in warm environments.
Especially if you take a sip.
If you
Yeah.
opened
Yeah.
it.
It's so stupid. I've done it a lot too, though, in the past. Not
Same.
anymore.
Bro, you're talking to the 3-in-1 guy. You think I wasn't drinking water bottles sitting in cars, man?
But nobody cared. This was never talked about. I feel like it's
No.
fairly recent.
Yeah, but it's
probably
good. I think it's good to change up a little bit, right?
Something's better than
to-
nothing.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like our parents had it right? Like I think my dad or like people used to eat in like metal cups. Or,
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
back in,
Yeah.
like, religious reasons
Yeah,
or whatever. But
yeah.
maybe they were
I mean,
onto
everything
something.
natural. Ideally, like you got a farm at home and you can just do it on your own. That's the
Yeah,
best way to
like-
go. But
The actual organic.
then even the soil's probably gone to shit too. Probably messed
Now
up
the
too.
soil is gone to shit,
Yeah.
man.
So I don't know. There's no way out.
Yeah, because if you look at like the kind of world we live in now, right? Like you can't even. I was even reading that there's not many countries on the planet that can be self-sufficient in terms of food. I think Guyana is one of the only ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, that can be completely self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like the way cities are designed today,
Yeah.
like you see like Toronto, New York, anything
Yeah.
like that. Like, do you think there's enough farms around to service all the people that live in these massive
There's nothing
skyscraper
rural
buildings
around
and
it.
shit?
Yeah.
No, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Like we get all the food flown in.
Yeah.
Right. And it goes to like these grocery stores and shipped around and
Mhm.
everyone. We've created this weird system, right? And that's just kind of like the evolution of like how we push food around and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. The plastic that has nothing to do with plastics. Went into a completely different direction for no reason. But maybe we should just move on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. New study reveals the country where people age slowest.
Where's that?
Denmark has the best environmental, social, and political conditions you need to lead a healthier life as you grow older, according to a new study published in Nature Medicine. The study identified the factors that shape the biological process behind how healthy you age. The international team of researchers behind the study analyzed the data of over 160,000 people from 40 countries to compare how these factors affect aging across the world. First, they had to determine average rates of aging. They did this by using a measure called the biobehavioral age gap clock. What the hell is that? An artificial intelligence model that calculates the difference between someone's chronological age and their predicted age based on the risk factors around them. The result, across the 4 continents studied, Africa, Asia, Europe, and South America, they found that European people have the highest levels of healthy aging. In contrast, the researchers found the older biobehavioral ages were more common in lower income countries. Makes sense.
Yeah.
This study is important because it redefines aging as a product not only of biology and lifestyle, but also of broader environmental and socio-political forces, highlighting that where and how people live can significantly accelerate or delay aging. The fastest agers were in Egypt, where people's biobehavioral ages were an average of 4.75 years higher than their chronological age. Egypt was followed by South Africa and then countries in South America. Within Europe, the eastern and southern regions experienced faster aging. On the other end of the scale, the slowest agers were found in Denmark, who were an average of 2.35 years younger than their chronological age. Next came the Netherlands and Finland.
Damn. Seems like Europe's a place to be.
It seems like it, but they weren't talking about North America in that. I think it wasn't part of the study. So Canada, US wasn't in that. But I feel like a lot of what they're alluding to there is happiness and stress.
Yeah. It's
right?
definitely stress, right? Controlling stress is probably the most vital part.
Yeah.
About living a long, healthy life.
Whenever you see those charts and it's like the happiest country, it's always Denmark.
Right? I feel like there's a correlation with happiness, right?
Denmark's got it figured out, man. They know what's going
People
on.
are just happy there.
Here, the world's happiest report 2025 indicates that Finland is the happiest country in the world for the 8th consecutive year, followed by Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, and the Netherlands.
Damn.
Where the hell is Canada on this list?
A good government can do wonders for your country. Huh?
Right? Let's see how far where Canada ranked 18th in global happiness, while the US ranked 24th.
It's because I feel like these countries don't really have like social problems or anything, right?
Well,
they're not as stressed.
I think a lot of like aging, stress and happiness. Like if you want to look at even stress, right? A country that leans more towards the socialist side of things.
Yeah.
I think you got other people doing things for you, so it kind of takes the stress off of that.
For sure.
Kind of, versus a country that leans towards capitalism, you have like the rat race and the trying to like go and get it and constantly, and not everyone's built for that. Right? But I don't think there's like a one size fits all with any of that. Yeah. Right? Because like even Canada versus the US, you can see Canada leans more towards socialism, right? And people here are stressed as hell, right? Like anyone I talk to, right?
Well, I think cost of living probably has a major thing to do with day-to-day stressors, especially now, like inflation and stuff.
Yeah.
For people.
It's kind of like in a weird place because I feel like our parents' generation kind of grew up with less stress in terms of cost of living. Yeah. Right? Compared to salaries and wages back then. Versus like we have more science and things available to us, right? And I think the average life expectancy has gone up over the years, right? but the I guess the aging factors that make you look and feel older, and that's also gone up.
Yeah.
Right, which is probably because of the stress.
I wonder if that has something to do with it. The amount of knowledge is always just like hitting you, right? Like BPAs, like how to
stressing you out.
Who's the happiest? Maybe that's stressing you out more. There's so much to worry about, right?
There's a level of stress that comes with that, right? Like the more you consume, right? Like a lot of it.
There's almost like too much science. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but
let's stop learning, right?
Yeah, right. No, but he is kind of onto something, right? Like I feel like the more information you consume, even if it's like valid information, a lot of it is pointless because you're not going to do anything
nonstop. Yeah, you never planned on doing anything. You don't have the ability to even do anything or change your life. Yeah, but you just feel like you should, and you're always tripping out, right?
Yeah, you just learn it, feel anxious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It definitely raises anxiety for people.
What about sports fans, man? Game 7s, playoffs, or just anxiety through the roof for
that too. Something that has nothing to do with your life.
Nothing to do with
no
your
impact on it
at all.
You're just like hyper.
Live life like la-di-da.
I really try to. That's the key to it, man. I'm not good at it, but I try.
Well, this podcast isn't going to help because you're constantly talking about polarizing shit, right?
Learning.
And learning, right? Like I feel like even with politics, the way that things have unfolded, right? Like it's so much out there, right? And like I didn't realize it when I was younger. I guess because everyone does kind of think the same when you're younger.
Yeah.
The older you get, I was like, oh shit, not everyone thinks the same.
People are very different.
Like they're very different. Even in my friend circles, families and shit, they're not the same. Right. And some people are more traditional, some people are more progressive. And it's some people can have those conversations and still remain friends and still remain cool and understand perspective. And other people, that's too much for them. Like, you're not the same as me. I don't like you anymore. Right. And that's it for them, right?
I never really got that, but there's definitely people like that. But I find it very easy to coexist with people.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't know any people that are like very staunch on one side or the other?
That's the thing. I don't know anybody that's like so heavy on one side or the other.
I think if you have a conversation with somebody about some certain issues, you'll see how they feel. Right, like if you
maybe I never get that deep.
It's probably
very surface level,
which is probably a good thing, right? Like if you're gonna look at this whole happiness thing.
I feel like this conversation alone, you've named so many different types of stress. Like you're like social stress, financial stress, healthcare. Like just too much. You're stressing me out.
The other thing was like when I was doing research on it, the air quality too is much better in these European countries. Do you guys remember? I think couple weeks ago, wasn't
Toronto had like the worst air
the worst, right?
Like India.
That's
crazy. It was because of all the forest fires and stuff.
That's because of all the forest fires, right?
But still, those aren't stopping anytime soon. It happens it's like forest fire season. It's all the time.
And Canada's I don't know if we're well equipped enough to deal with that, right? I also feel like there's this poor diet, which kind of goes into the microplastics and all the other bullshit that we talked about before, right? Because
European food is different too. Like remember when we went, like the eggs were like yellower.
They're orange. Right? And
I remember looking at them like, what kind of eggs are these? But those are like real eggs. They're supposed to look like. Yeah, exactly.
And the food didn't, I don't know how you guys felt. To me, it didn't have the same effects on me, if that makes sense. Like I didn't eat pizza there and feel like a glutton.
Like
lay down.
And stuff.
Yeah.
The regulations there are more strict, I think.
I think they have more naturally actual organic food. Right? Like I don't think it's a bunch of like what we hear, right?
It's not highly processed.
Exactly.
Like our food's so processed, you can't even avoid it, man.
Bro, I was reading an article a couple of days ago about how 50% of the food that most Americans and Canadians eat is ultra processed food. Ultra processed.
Not even just processed.
Right?
Ultra.
Right? Like you can't even. I don't even think it's gonna
avoid it.
Huh?
Like how do you avoid it?
It's gonna become difficult to distinguish what is like ultra processed or processed and what's not. And like
our ranking system,
right? Like how much it is. It's
true.
weird.
Like even like healthy things, like for example, overnight oats.
Yeah.
How are those oats processed?
Exactly.
Like, they came in a a bag.
Yeah.
Or even people that like, have you guys ever seen the videos of like bread?
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
say, this isn't bread, this is sponge.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll put it in water.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
Or they'll try to light it on fire.
Yeah.
And then somebody
Those
will.
videos will make you crazy, like the Mr. Noodles videos. Nah.
Who's Mr. Noodles?
You know, like noodles, like ramen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, who's Mr. Noodles? I'm like, who is this guy? Is he a YouTuber? Oh yeah, the brand. Yeah. No, that's uni food. You don't eat that normally.
I mean, I like ramen noodles.
Yeah. What's wrong with ramen?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with ramen.
I mean, it's good to know these things, but maybe don't like dwell on them.
But like, okay, so I'm just looking at what makes you age faster, and it says it includes sun exposure, poor diet, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, stress, lack of sleep, and lack of physical activity.
Damn.
Right? If you take that and you throw it into somebody who the cost of living is high,
Yeah.
that person's gonna have no time.
Yeah.
They're working 24/7. You have no time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You're stressed out. Right, you're gonna eat whatever's in your fridge because you can't,
Or whatever's
afford-
fast.
Exactly.
And anything organic or that's healthy these days costs a shit ton.
Yeah.
To feed a family of 4, it's gonna be very expensive, right? So these things kind of just go hand in hand.
For
You
sure.
can do the easy things, which is get
Wear
out, get some sun.
SPF.
Yeah. You could do that. You could stop smoking and stop drinking.
Yeah.
Right, that's easy. But
Yeah.
the other things, I don't know if you can avoid them.
It kind of depends on
in-
your situation, right?
right?
Yeah.
Like you got to kind of like grind and then like just hope that you don't get screwed and then like 5 years play catch up. 5 years from now,
Yeah.
weird
And your health
situation.
is like deteriorating.
Right? Barely walk, have the knees of a 90-year-old because you just sit around all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we move on?
Yeah.
So the last main topic we got is there's an Ontario man who was charged for defending himself when an intruder broke in.
Yeah.
Here's a clip of a few politicians talking about how they saw the matter.
Want to hear about the story in Lindsay? So this criminal that's wanted by the police breaks into this guy's house. This guy gives him a beating, and this guy gets charged. And the other guy gets charged. But something is broken. I know if someone breaks into my house or someone else's, you're going to fight for your life. This guy has a weapon. You're going to use any force you possibly
He
can
did have a knife.
to protect your family.
Well, if you don't want to get shot or beaten up, don't break into people's houses. Pretty straightforward.
Straight up. Yeah.
We had a similar incident in Alberta where somebody defended themselves, and they determined that there was not a reasonable likelihood of conviction, because we do expect that people are going to use a reasonable use of force to defend themselves and their families, and I support that.
The law needs to be clear that if someone comes into your house uninvited to steal your property or harm your family, you need to be able to do whatever is necessary to stop them.
100%.
Everybody agrees with that. You should be able to defend. I think the rule is you're allowed to defend yourself with reasonable force, right?
Right
yeah,
now,
it
didn't work out for this guy.
No, I think he excessive force.
So this is what happened. Police reported that the resident had woken up and found an intruder in his home.
Mhm.
The two got into a physical fight, and the
Yeah.
intruder suffered serious life-threatening injuries.
That's the thing, yeah.
He was initially taken to a nearby hospital, but was later airlifted to a hospital in Toronto. The homeowner, a 44-year-old man from Lindsay, was charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. The other man, a
Yeah, he had a
41-year-old,
knife.
was already wanted by police for separate incidents and has also been charged with possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, break and enter, and theft, mischief under 5,000, and failing to comply with probation. Police said he will be held in custody pending a bail hearing.
See, that's crazy. Look at that.
So-
Criminals in Canada have reached a new level.
Yeah.
They're not scared.
Yeah.
Nobody's scared because there's no repercussion.
Yeah, there's
this guy,
nothing to be scared of.
This guy literally broke an entrance somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he's doing it again because
Yeah.
nobody did anything.
How many of those videos have you seen where people are kicking in doors,
So
right?
many.
And where
Yeah.
people are stealing cars, and then when you read it, a lot of these kids, some of them are like 17-year-old kids,
Yeah.
16-year-old,
A lot of them,
Yeah.
right?
25.
Yeah.
Like when somebody breaks in, right? Like if you're a married kids,
Right.
right? Your kids are sleeping upstairs. Your wife is sleeping upstairs, right? somebody breaks in, are you gonna think, how old is this kid? How hard can I hit him? What can I do? What's going on? No, it's the right time somebody breaks into your house. It's game on. Right? Like, you got to defend your family. Right? Now, we don't know the entire details of the case, right? Like, the guy could have been unconscious and discussed just like...
we don't know how far it went.
Right? But, like, there's a level of, like, if somebody's going to break into your house, I think you have the right to defend yourself at all costs.
Totally agree with that.
Because physical altercations like that can escalate like this, right? Somebody breaks into your house, they have, like, let's say if they have a bat, right? They break into your house and you're like, you come running downstairs, somebody chases you, you grab a knife from your kitchen. You don't know where this thing can escalate to. Right? Like, all you're going to think is like, okay, how do I defend my family and de-escalate the situation by, inserting myself physically into it?
Right.
What else are you going to do?
That's what I think the law is, though. They don't want it to escalate. Which makes absolutely no sense. If someone comes at you with a bat, are you going to care whether that person dies or he doesn't? I wouldn't.
Like, for me, somebody's breaking into my house. I'm not even thinking he has a bat. I'm thinking he has a weapon.
A gun.
Yeah,
you
a
never
gun
know.
or a knife or something, right?
Yeah.
And then, what am I supposed to do? Pick up the phone, dial 911, stare at this guy?
Yeah.
Say you have children sleeping upstairs.
Exactly.
You're not worried.
You got to stop them at all costs.
Bro, if that's, I don't know how that situation played out. If this was my house, right, and somebody broke in, the first thing I would be like, all right, so if you're, call the cops. And go into, our kid's room. And just sit there. I'm going to go take care of this shit. Right? And I'm going to go downstairs and take care of it. Right? And that's pretty much what you have to do. Right?
What other option do you have?
What else are you gonna do? Just hope that they just like. Remember that police officer in Toronto that was like, "Yeah, just leave your car keys by the door." And then there was
That's what Canada has escalated.
And there was even that. I think there was a break-in where these guys came in and they did all of that, and they still roughed them up. Right. And there's like a family of 4 or whatever hit the dad.
Exactly.
So like a bunch of shit happens, man. I feel like. If somebody breaks into your house, I think I agree with what Danielle Smith, well, all of them were saying. I don't know who the hell would disagree with this outside of the police department, who is, well, they're going to go by whatever the law says, right?
Yeah. That's the whole talk of the castle law being implemented now, right? Because there's extremes of it. Obviously, we saw what happened with, like, in Florida with the stand your ground stuff, right? But the castle law would imply that it's your house. You have the right to protect your
Theirs is like property.
There's
stand your ground is all property.
It extends further. It's a little more loose. I think the simplest is like, yo, you should be able to defend yourself.
You should be able to.
I don't know. How do you make an argument against?
I think it'll stop all the break-ins too. Not stop them, but it'll decrease them.
They'll be scared,
People are scared.
Yeah.
So the criminal code allows a person to use reasonable force to protect themselves and their property if they believe they are facing a threat. This is Canadian law before underscoring a key distinction that these rights are not unlimited in Canada. The law requires that any defensive action be proportionate to the threat faced and that the use of force must be reasonable given the circumstances. So this is the police chief or who said this?
I read that too.
Yeah.
One of the police officers said this.
So this guy used an unreasonable amount of force?
They're saying it was
if the guy's airlifted.
Then he kicked his ass.
He must have stabbed him and beat him up really bad.
He had to have stabbed him if they're saying that he had a knife, right?
He had a knife.
I think he beat him up pretty badly.
Yeah. Maybe excessively, right?
Because you're pissed.
How do you stop? I don't necessarily blame him for that either.
Like, okay, so when you're in high school and you get into a fight, you know when to stop.
When the guy's knocked out.
Well, that's also different, right? It's probably not happening while you're breaking into someone's house.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're getting in a fight in the schoolyard or like after school or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Right? Like you know where the line is for the most part, right? Morally and ethically. Ethically, I just can't talk today.
Yeah.
But you know where the line is, right? And you know what not to cross, right? And it's people who do, like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? And like, if you're gonna talk shit, man, you're gonna get what's coming to you.
Exactly.
If you're gonna break into someone's house, right? If you're brave enough to go break into someone's house, they have every right to defend themselves. Period.
Yeah. So are they trying to change the law? Like change?
That's what they're all advocating for, especially Daniel Smith.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, like, it's not like we have the right to bear arms.
That's what I was just about to say. They're not going to change that.
No.
That's never going to happen here.
But that would stop all these break-ins.
For sure.
Canada's too, like, happy of a place.
Yeah.
They'll never do something.
But it's not. I don't know. This is, in my life, I've never seen crime like this. And the criminals are not scared.
No.
This guy already has the same exact...
Imagine so in Canada, you can have a gun if you go through the right channels, right? And you can have a gun at home, right? If you did, imagine if you shot this guy. You're probably looking at murder charges.
Yeah.
100%.
It's so backwards.
That would never happen in America.
No. Especially in Florida or something. Stand your ground. It's not happening.
Yeah.
People are just itching to use their guns on someone that stepped on their property.
People don't really break into houses like as often.
You've heard the saying that the Second Amendment is there to protect the First Amendment, right?
Yeah.
It's there to protect freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
So like, and it's also security, right? Like, there's also then mass shootings and stuff that happen.
It's hard, right? Yeah, there's extreme.
In Canada, I feel like there has to be something that deters these criminals from stealing cars and breaking into houses. Like it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Right? Like you see the jewelry store robberies and shit. Like
100%.
They're brazen, daylight, man.
They don't give a crap anymore.
Even these home like break-ins, people are like eating breakfast.
Yeah.
Before breaking into their house, man.
It's wild, man.
It's not even. It's
in good neighborhoods too.
It's
not like
in the middle of the night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's
2 a.m.,
supposed to be
3 a.m. No, traditionally, like when do you get robbed, right?
No, I get what you're saying. Right? I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I don't even know how we get here. We're talking about this. It's for me, it's common sense. Someone breaks in, beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, they need to do something to deter these criminals from doing these kind of things rather than just charge the homeowners and like make this like a massive public case where now everyone's. What do you think this is going to do? If this guy gets charged, you think criminals are now going to be like, hey, let's not do that. They're like, oh, we're going to break in. They're going to charge the homeowner.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's it for the main topics. Let's move on to sports.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Tank, he's fighting him. He's officially scheduled for November the 14th on Netflix. He went on his brother's podcast to announce it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they've been hinting at this thing for a year or so.
I think I've seen all the rumors and like the build up for it here and there, right? But I just didn't see it making sense.
Yeah.
Right? I think Tank's like 5'3" on a good day.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul's like what, 6 feet, 6'1", something like that, 6'2".
There's a massive like reach advantage, height, weight. I think he's a full like around 60 pounds heavier than him.
Did they even say what they're fighting at? Is it just some sort of exhibition?
It's an exhibition
situation?
That from my understanding, that's what it's gonna be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely that. Like, even he kind of gives his critics when he does things like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone running with that still that Jake is not an actual boxer thing.
Mm.
I don't know about that, man.
No,
He's
that's
proven himself time and time again.
Yeah.
He was even ranked, I think, like 14th or something at his weight.
I don't know.
Like he was officially ranked, right? I believe. But this is the first time he's fighting like a formidable opponent. Tank is not a fake boxer.
No, Tank isn't a fake boxer or anything, but
prime.
like it's not like he's fighting Canelo, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he's fighting a bigger dude, right? They were scheduled to fight Canelo before Canelo and the Bud Crawford or the what is it, the Saudi deal, whatever that was, happened.
Yeah.
They were supposed to fight each other.
Yeah.
That's a more formidable opponent. Right? Gervonta is a lot smaller, right?
For sure.
And like I think people are making a comparison between Logan Paul versus Mayweather, and they're comparing this. And people don't remember or they don't realize that Logan Paul was a way less experienced fighter then than Jake Paul is now. Right? And he was fighting Mayweather. Right? Jake Paul's been training for like what, the past 3-4 years?
For sure.
Like in boxing, he's been taking it seriously. So he's more of a, I don't know, household name in boxing now. Right? So it's not like he's not Logan Paul, man. Right? So if he's going to go up against a much smaller guy,
for sure.
I don't know. I'd like to see the odds on this thing. Like, I feel like they're going to be pretty close.
They're probably pretty tight.
Like 155, 150, like around there somewhere. It's not going to be some ridiculous double.
For sure.
Right?
I mean, I think Jake's just like a really good marketer too. These guys have been talking about this fight for so long, talking about each other. We do have a clip of the past where he was talking. about Tank.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down.
I don't know if Gervonta needs Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
And he's just like the bozo who shared the ring with Mike. He didn't get the job done. These two like have been going back and forth for a while now.
Yeah.
But this is a big boy fight for Jake. Big name.
Yeah.
A real boxer.
Yeah. What he said there, like Gervonta needs Jake Paul more than
that was just, I don't know.
That's just some bullshit. Gervonta doesn't need anyone, bro.
Yeah.
That guy's gotten paid himself, right?
Yeah.
I think, like, honestly, I feel like Ryan Garcia would have been a better fight, right? Because you remember when Garcia fought Gervonta?
Yeah.
They had that rehydration clause in there.
Yeah.
And Ryan Garcia would look like he was like malnourished in that fight. I'm not saying he would have beat Tank, but like, I don't know. To me, like, the height difference and the weight difference makes this a way closer fight.
For sure.
Way closer fight. This is going to be a weird one, man. This is one of those where you got to kind of see it. I don't know if Gervonta can pull this off.
The thing is, if he does, then he was supposed to, right? He's a real boxer.
Yeah.
And Jake, he always puts himself in these lose-lose situations, right? And if he doesn't, reach advantage, height, weight. That's what's going to happen. I mean, theoretically, he's so much bigger. Jake should win. Because I think he's actually a good boxer now and he puts the time in, right? And if he's training for it, he should win.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much bigger guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like around 200 pounds. The other guy's like 140.
It's just a different weight division, though.
Yeah.
Man. It's like if you compare it to UFC, it's like DDP fighting like Mighty Mouse back in the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, that's crazy, right?
It's nuts, right?
Like,
but
if this guy actually fought Anthony Joshua, then he would.
Well, Joshua's a heavyweight, right? He lost to Tommy Fury, right? Imagine if like Anthony Joshua or Tommy Fury fought Gervonta Davis.
Exactly. How would that be received? Right?
It would be like, what do you know what I mean?
That's the thing, right?
I feel like a lot of these fights, the reason why they draw controversy is because of who he picks.
Yeah.
It's always these it's weird situations when it comes to this. But like, I also don't know, since they moved this whole thing to Netflix.
Yeah.
What's happening there in terms of who's making what kind of money? Does Netflix just offer them a bag? Like, they don't release any of this, so we don't know.
I mean, Tank has said in the past, he's like, I would never fight him, whatever. I think it's the money that got him to fight him. What else is it?
I would imagine they probably give him 20 million at least.
Yeah.
20, 30 million.
And this whole thing's is on Netflix. Right?
Yeah.
There's the shift to streaming is happening right in front of us. The UFC deal, ESPN deal.
Yeah.
They're all running to streaming.
Which is a good thing, man, because cable TV and pay-per-view buys it's not easily accessible, right? Yeah. So it's a good thing.
There's so much piracy anyway.
Yeah. See what happens there.
The next thing we got here is DC Daniel Cormier. He was on Shannon Sharp's podcast. And seems like he's on a mission to discount Jon Jones. We got a clip of it.
Your Mount Rushmore fighters.
Demetrius Johnson.
Okay.
George St. Pierre.
Okay.
Khabib. Khabib was undefeated. Nobody beat him. Fourth, God, that's where it gets tough. That's where it gets tough. Because you feel like you want to put, like, when we talk about just accomplishments, no one's more accomplished than Amanda Nunes.
Right.
Can I really put her on the Mount Rushmore of fighting? But George, Demetrius, Khabib. God, there's some good guys. Chuck Liddell was good, man. Chuck Liddell's kind of responsible for us being here. Randy Couture won 2 titles in his bracket. I think that 4th place would belong to one of those guys. I think
Randy Couture.
Somebody like that, because I would never put myself up there. Right.
And he can't put
but
himself.
I'm like right in that 4 to 7 range.
I thought you might put Anderson.
Anderson had the steroid.
Yeah.
Right? I can't put Anderson. Like, I would like to put Anderson. If I'm saying all those guys included, then obviously John and Anderson are on that Mount Rushmore. But I don't do that. I refuse it. It's not in fighting.
I'll say one thing. I don't disagree with the names on his list. It's just Jon Jones is supposed to be first on that list.
Mighty Mouse, Mount Rushmore would be Mighty Mouse, GSP, Khabib, Jon Jones.
I don't hate his list.
Right.
He's just missing the one name that should be at the top of the
Well,
list.
Jon Jones, is, what he's hanging on to is the entire steroid thing, right?
Yeah,
And he's saying that he got popped for the steroids. I think the first time they fought went to decision? The second time they fought TKO.
Yeah.
Right?
They fought 3 times. You beat them all 3.
I don't think even DC has to know in his best day he can beat Jon Jones. Have you ever heard Chael Sonnen talk about Jon Jones? I think somebody asked him, maybe it was Andrew Schultz or someone on Flagrant. They asked him, what do you think about, were you ever in a situation where you felt like you were going to lose a fight? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, the day I fought Jon Jones, he's like, I walked into the octagon knowing I was going to lose. He's like, I didn't think I was going to win that by any means, right?
Yeah.
But like, even the sport, Jon Jones has been one of the biggest names in the sport.
Yeah.
Right. Conor McGregor obviously made, UFC even more popular with his antics and everything that he's done for the sport. I don't even hate on Conor McGregor, right? I don't even know why
you seen him lately? You telling me he's not on something?
Oh, there's that. Did you see him sparring with he was like sparring, I don't know who he was sparring, but he was getting roasted online.
Really?
With the way that he was sparring this dude.
He didn't look good?
It did not look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like Jon Jones goes, in my eyes, he's definitely one of the GOATs, right? Steroids are not, bro. Like the guy, he hasn't lost, right? And who knows how many of these guys have been on it and how many of them have not. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's almost annoying because I do believe he's so talented and methodical as a fighter. Had he not got like caught doing these steroids, it like gives him out to like judge his career, right? Just if
that combined with the Aspinall ducking,
and that too,
right? Like I'm actually a Jon Jones fan, right?
Me
But
too,
like these two things combined are kind of gonna leave a stain on his legacy.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And especially once this starts happening, now everyone's talking about the steroids, everyone's talking about Aspinall.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about how the only fight that, lost on his record was the DQ that he got with the 12-6 on Matt Hamill. Nobody talks about that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody talks about how dominant he was and basically eliminated anyone that they put in front of him, right? Like easily. Gustafsson was a hard fight for him.
Yeah.
And I feel like even Dominic Reyes was a hard fight. People say, if you go back and watch that fight though, that's pretty close fight.
Yeah.
It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I don't know, man. Jon Jones, he beat Daniel Cormier on coke.
Yeah.
Right.
And he told him
admitted
he
that on a press conference.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know.
I definitely think Cormier is petty in this situation because it seems super personal. He just keeps saying it on his own platform. Everywhere he goes, he's like, not Jon, though. Like, Jon, no, he can't be on it.
I just don't know how you can put that Mount Rushmore and not have Jon Jones on.
For sure. Especially when Dana's always saying it himself.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't see it.
The thing is, like, PEDs are so common in sports now, too. Like, so many. It's just some people are better at hiding it. Doesn't LeBron have allegations against him, right?
There's a lot of,
He's never got popped for it, right?
There was even last summer, there was something going on about, I think one of his guys, Randy Mims or whatever his name is, like he was picking something up. There was some shit going around. The story quickly got buried, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But you don't know what these athletes, right? What is true or what isn't true.
Some situations is just to heal faster too, right? They're taking.
Well, that's the whole point.
But it's tricky, like you were saying in fighting. It's a major advantage in fighting, more than other sports, probably, right? If you're on steroids, I see both sides of it. It's just coming from DC. It just seems super personal to me personally.
Well, like you got to respect DC as a fighter too, man. I thought because like you don't realize it when they're fighting, but once they're done fighting, you miss them, right? Like he was a phenomenal fighter, right?
But nobody was getting through Jon Jones.
Nobody was, man. Nobody was. It was a different time.
Nobody did.
And you got to give Jon his credit, man, for what he's doing. Just to this tremendous amount of slander on Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Like you could be a fan of Aspinall and still say Jon Jones is one of the greatest to ever fight.
For sure.
Right. I think Demetrius Johnson always takes shots at this guy, right?
Yeah.
Mouse. Always, whenever he can. About
nobody talks about Mighty Mouse. Just because he was small.
He was small, man.
Yeah.
And this is what people, unless you're an actual fight fan who loves like techniques and stuff.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it is what it is.
It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
The next story we got here is John Wall officially retired. Yeah, it's done now. John Wall in his prime, man. He was a bad man.
Yeah.
Mama Jamma.
He was a bad mama jamma.
I feel like
It was
injuries kind of derailed his
It's
career
one of those
towards the end,
situations, yeah.
right?
Like, it's
But
like a D Rose, Brandon Roy situation. You know?
I think people forget how good he was, right? Like in his prime, he was consistently one of the top 5 in the league in terms of assists per game,
Yeah.
right? And like people, I mean, if you look at his 3-point shooting, sure, it wasn't elite, but it wasn't horrible,
Yeah.
right? And he developed a decent midi,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But what he was known for was his athleticism, obviously,
For
right?
sure. Explosive
And the
guard, yeah.
slashing, right? And
Yeah.
even people remember the dunks and shit, right? But
Yeah.
like the layup package,
Yeah.
like, yo, he was doing these spin around layups
was
and
really
stuff.
good, man.
The guy had his own highlight reel,
Yeah.
right? And like, I feel like he's a pretty sick defender too.
Yeah.
Right? Like
he had
he's
an all-around game.
Yeah, I think one of his best seasons, he averaged like 23 points a game, 2 steals, like 10 assists, right? So
Yeah.
he was an all-around guard, man.
For sure, yeah.
He was an all-around guard.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like a lot of the people who haven't watched him, if the injuries didn't derail his career a little bit, he'd be talked about a little bit more, right? Maybe
Yeah.
would have done something.
Unfortunate situation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think in terms of like, do you think he's a GOAT, like Washington Wizard?
I saw that conversation happening. Like, who else has played?
He said it himself.
Anton Jameson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, MJ.
MJ.
Yeah, that was his comeback.
Who am I missing? What else are the Bradley Beal?
Well, like,
and like they would be the newer cats now, right?
the thing is, from the modern era, honestly, I would put him first, right? But there's Wes Unseld and Elvin Hayes. They won a championship. That was in the 80s or 70s, I think, right?
But Wes on,
Yeah. They'd just because they brought a championship to the city, they'd probably be 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, but anyone less than 35
Modern
watching
era?
this, they don't know who the hell
They
Wes
don't.
Unseld
Yeah,
is.
they don't. Unless they play a lot
Unless
of
they
2K.
play 2K.
But
Yeah.
outside of that,
Yeah.
it has to be him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's John. Who else is it? Bradley Beal, his teammate.
Bradley Beal, Anton
And then
Jameson.
you got obviously Gilbert Arenas.
Oh,
probably somewhere in
Gil.
the.
Oh, if Gil didn't get those gun charges,
Yeah.
right? I feel like he would have. Gil was clutch, man.
Yeah.
Crazy player. But yeah, if you look at it that way,
Ask anybody from Washington, they'll probably tell you that he's the greatest they've seen in their lifetime.
for sure, I think he's definitely up there. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, right?
I was just looking at this whole thing, and it made me like LeBron's on a historic tear.
Oh yeah.
I know we like to shit on him, but like when you look at this guy, because John Wall, after he retired, Paul George is now the only person left from the 2010 draft class. LeBron was drafted in 03.
Yeah.
7 years before this guy.
Yeah, he's
And
still playing.
He's still going.
And when was Kyrie drafted? I think the next couple after that, I think 2011.
Well, there's him and Chris Paul are the two old heads still at it. Chris Paul came in a year after him.
Yeah.
I think it was 04.
Yeah.
But if you look at this guy, he just keeps going. He's like 40 years old. And I think all these players, they have so much more longevity now, right?
Yeah.
It has to be the sports science or his PEDs. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I even look at that entire situation, and I think, like, if you look at like LeBron and how long he's playing, if you like, you're saying 2010, right?
Yeah.
I saw this graphic of like the first round draft pick, the first overall picks, right?
Yeah.
That LeBron has outlasted.
Yeah.
He's now outlasted everyone up until 2010. That's what I was saying. If you look past 2010, I think Kyrie was drafted in 2011.
Yeah.
Right. Anthony Davis was drafted in 2012. Anthony Bennett was drafted in 2013. Bennett's already out of the league, right? Anthony Davis with his up and down injuries, you never know, right? In the next 3 years, I think Kai and AD's got, a few years left in them, right? But LeBron's gonna have played a hell of a long time, man.
It's crazy. He's gonna set records that are gonna be because nobody can play that long.
You remember back when like even KD was like still like, when he was starting out, people were like he's the one that could beat LeBron's points per game. All-time points record, maybe.
He's not even gonna touch it.
He's not gonna touch it.
Yeah.
Right. Right now, Luka's the one. Right. I think that they said that might be able to.
Yeah.
Right.
He's gotta stay healthy.
Yeah.
And he's gotta play forever.
Forever. Yeah. LeBron's doing something there with this longevity thing, right?
Props to him.
Yep.
Last story we got here is Dwight Howard is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I saw that.
And Shaq is going to be the one who presents him to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, these guys obviously had a few forever now, it seems like, or since at least since 08. But we do have a clip of them. They seem to have mended their fences.
What does it mean to you going into the Hall of Fame? I see that smile on your face.
7, that's what we play for, be in the Hall of Fame, and it's like going to heaven, so I'm just thankful for it.
And you and Shaq, you're now close. He's going to represent you at the Hall of Fame. How'd that all come together? And what do you expect Shaq to say on the stage?
Really, I'm just thankful that I'm a Hall of Famer. Whatever he says will be amazing, and I'm looking forward to that day.
When you said that the level should have been higher.
Okay, so listen, when you're averaging 26 and you should be averaging 40, for us, they're saying we're not focused. See what I'm saying? Of course you were focused, you dominated, but for us, we got to be up here. For example, there's certain people on this earth that can get one ring and be, oh my God, he's this, he's that. It's like me and you, we got to get 2, 3, or 4 to get our respect. You understand that? That's just how it is for people like me and you. People like me and you, we're different. We're not from this planet. Never said you wasn't focused. But in order for us to get to that next level, we have to be more focused. I had to average 40 in the finals for us to win without making free throws. You know how hard that was? Like, it was not 20.
Without making free throws.
Not 35. I had to average 40 in the playoffs for us to win. So when I say you're not focused, I want you to say, okay, this is my thing, I'm not focused, watch this. It's all a play on words. But I think you're right. I probably should have came at you, but that's not what I know. I wanted to get you so mad and so angry to where you hate me, which is fine. I just need you to play at that certain high level.
I understand. I don't know. I couldn't have predicted him, introducing him to the Hall of Fame, a couple years back. It seemed like these guys hated each other.
Not a couple of years ago, but now, after that podcast and stuff, it kind of makes a little bit of sense, right? I feel like, I don't know. I look at, I think the way that Shaq looked at him, I think that Superman title a little bit, there might have been some envy there to begin with or whatever.
That's where I think it started.
I think it could have easily started there, but the way that Shaq explained it right there, right, and how he has a couple of times, is that when you look at Dwight Howard, right, even though Dwight did achieve some pretty amazing shit, right, they beat LeBron, everyone remembers that shot, that LeBron had during that run, but Dwight was the one that ended up in the finals with Kobe,
to the finals,
right, and that was what H.O.F, Rashard Lewis, and Jameer Nelson, right? They're not
exactly Hall of Famers,
right? So I feel like Dwight doesn't get some credit for doing that.
Sure.
I think the problem is with what Shaq's saying. Dwight was so dominant, right? He wanted to see more than a 20 and 15 guy, whatever his stats are. Even those are pretty amazing stats, right? He's saying 35, 20. That's what he should be averaging, right? Because Dwight was that guy, man.
For sure.
Dwight was different.
He had everything. People forget how dominant he was. He was very Shaq-X.
Yeah.
Just bigger and stronger, right?
Elbow somebody, dunk all over him, right? Just a spin dunk, right? He did that all the time, right?
For sure.
So looking at all of that, I feel like, I don't know. Dwight is a mixed bag in the sense that he does get, criticism. Right. But he also, there's a lot of people who are yo, man, he could have done a lot more than what he did.
Yeah. I mean, but the crazy thing is, this thing got to a point where he even said on a podcast, he's like, I don't know if we're going to have to throw hands. Dwight said that, right?
Yeah.
It got that escalated, right? So I couldn't really tell. How much of it was genuine, how much of it was I
mean, Shaq's 50 now, right?
Yeah.
How old is Shaq, right? I feel like he's 55 or some shit. At this point, you're not throwing hands with anyone, man. You just say whatever you want.
No, Dwight's the one that said it. But
Dwight?
Yeah. But my whole thing was for a while there, because Shaq doesn't like it when anyone tries to dim his light or talk about his records, talk about championships. He's always telling Chuck, I got 4, right? He's always doing that, right? So I used to think that he actually hates this guy. But then after now seeing his documentary and the way he talks about his dad and the way he was raised, he's he told me never to push me super hard. And even that conversation, I think he meant it. He was trying to motivate him. I really believe that. He was trying.
That's what I was saying. It seems more so that he thinks the potential was here.
Yeah.
Right. And
He thinks he didn't live up to
underachieving, right? Even though by other people's metrics that, he's doing all right.
For sure.
He was like, like he kept saying, like, we just score 40.
Yeah.
Right. Score 50. Right. Like that's what he was expecting from him. Right.
Like,
so maybe it is that.
I feel like it started off with him being annoyed that he stole his nickname, being annoyed that he's on Orlando and he took that team far. And then eventually it got to a point where he's just like, I need to unlock his potential or try to, right? And then obviously he forgave him and stuff. So maybe it was a ladder.
Yeah. But that's all we got for sports. Let's move on to off topic.
Okay, so for our first story, we have Justin Bieber.
Okay, so we have this video of Justin Bieber performing at a Vegas nightclub. So I just want to show you guys the video.
That's not him, man.
Okay, that's not actually him, but he tricked so many people that was him, to the point where like they let him on stage and they were like, that's the real Bieber. And it's actually just an impersonator.
Yeah.
It's not really Justin Bieber, but he's really committed to this impersonation that he even got like tattoos to match him.
Yeah.
He did look a lot like him. But I was like,
His face doesn't look like it.
I was like, Justin, put on a few.
The sunglasses. I think the dance moves gave him. They were too much.
The dance moves?
Yeah, every time I watched that video, I thought it was so funny.
I was convinced for a split second.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I was like, is it?
You know
like,
what it is? I don't know.
Taller.
I don't know how somebody lets him go on to the venue.
Yeah.
And then like get up on stage.
Money doing that?
I don't know if he makes money. Hopefully he has a job because he's copying his tattoos and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like who's paying for all this?
Yeah, that's true.
Because apparently the story is that he went into this nightclub and he racked up like a $10,000 tab. But then they eventually found out that he's fake. And then he did end up paying it.
Oh, he paid it.
So
he's got it like
So he must have money.
Impersonators
He's
make
just
money.
doing this for fun.
Yeah, I guess like in Vegas, like Elvis impersonators is a thing.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, they've been impersonating
The big
MJ for
thing in
years,
Vegas.
right?
They make money, I think.
Yeah.
He's like taking
But they're like,
pictures with
how much money do they make? They're like street vendors. They're kind of just like on the street.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Who would I impersonate?
Like, I don't know.
Oh, you know what this reminded me of, Indy? What you just sent me today? How Akon used to have his brothers perform for him at shows.
That's crazy.
And pretend it was him.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
then
you
they
did
would
say
get
that.
paid.
Yeah.
Akon would be doing a show somewhere else. His brother would be doing a show somewhere else.
Crazy, right?
They
There were
would pay
3
for
of them.
both
It was
in the States. They did
3
this?
of them.
Yeah. Because it was back in the day before like smartphones and Twitter and TikTok and YouTube and stuff.
Like full out
In
concerts.
concert in 2 separate locations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
His brother would be doing the concert somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Like that clip
That's
showed video. of it.
nuts, man.
It's so smart though. Think about it.
It's also fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
You bought concert tickets to see Akon,
But nobody's
his
even
nephew's
recording
on
it.
stage.
But nobody has cell phones or anything. So
Yeah,
people are like, I guess it's Akon. That's how it used to work.
That's wild.
You're
You know
like,
what else I saw today, just based on what you're saying? Did you know in Friends, it was Phoebe and her sister doing her and her twin?
no way.
Yeah, it was her sister.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
I didn't even know she had a sister, but her sister would play some of the roles. I thought because it looks like edited.
Yeah.
Like it's like Phoebe and then it's like Ursula.
Yeah.
But it was her sister.
That's
She has a
crazy.
twin sister?
It's not a twin. It doesn't even look like it does look like her. It looks like her sister. It looks like if like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys would have done it.
Okay.
Oh.
Because you don't actually see like when it was full front, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Phoebe. But when it's like side by side, it was her and her sister.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I even heard that what are their names? Mary Kate and Ashley?
Yeah, yeah.
That they're
Oh,
fraternal. They're not identical twins.
Which makes no sense. They look exactly.
They played the same character. They look exactly the
You can
same.
tell them apart.
What the hell? Okay.
You can tell them apart. I grew up watching them.
Yeah, I watched that show. I had no idea they ever
Yeah.
switched them out. I always thought they were identical twins. What were we talking about? Justin Bieber? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy doesn't look like his twin though.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But whatever.
I couldn't believe that he got same tattoos. That's like
He's a psycho.
Maybe he's like a super fan and then he turned into an impersonator. I don't know.
How can you, being a guy, how can you be that much of
That's
a
a
fan
bad
of another
look
guy?
for the place, though.
What do you mean?
You fell for that?
That's what I was saying. The venue, you just let him up on stage?
Like that venue seems
They
like
thought it was Justin Bieber.
Yeah, that DJ made like a parody kind of TikTok after, and he's like, "Oh, I got duped. Like it's
Imagine
dark
not
in there."
knowing the artist though.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of artists I don't know if they were to tell me their song.
Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if
Somebody
I went and
somewhere
asked
should get
questions
fired.
and somebody was like, "There's a lot of artists I know that," I'd be like, "You're fired." No, you're fired.
Like, I deserve that.
Yeah.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so recently, I don't know if you guys saw, but Serena Williams went through a bit of a transformation. Like she lost like 40
I
pounds.
saw.
I
Yeah.
did not see this.
So she came out actually saying that she'd been taking GLP-1,
There you go.
which is really shocking to me.
Yeah.
But so she was on a morning show.
I don't even know what that is.
Ozempic.
Oh.
A lot of people have been wondering about my new fitness
Don't hit me
journey and
with
what
the
I've been
science.
doing. And I've been really open about me being on GLP-1s. And I thought it was really important just to come out and say it. So I'm on a GLP-1 through Ro.co. And for me, it was really just about taking away that stigma of like, is it a lazy way? Is it a shortcut? Like, why would you do that? And so for me, like after having my first kid with Olympia, and then, you know, in particular after having the second kid, I was never able to be at a healthy weight that I could be at, whether it was my joints or blood sugar levels. It was just always something that I suffered with. And a lot of women actually go through this. And I always said that I feel like, for me personally, I feel like, you know what, after I had my kids, after I got a tad bit older, like my body was actually missing something no matter what I did. I literally was playing professional tennis. Yeah. And you can even see like sometimes I had this really awesome documentary a few years ago. And you can see in the documentary, my coach is telling me, you have to lose weight. You have to lose weight. I'm playing professional tennis. I'm literally training 5 hours a day.
Not only did she take this weight loss drug, she also is now promotes it. So this is what was on her Instagram page.
I'm on Ro. They say GLP-1s for weight loss is a shortcut. It's not. It's science.
Remember
after kids, it's the medicine my body needed. GLP-1s helped me lose 31 pounds. One app to hit my goals. This
That's crazy.
is
The whole
healthcare.
jab too.
So like, how do you feel about that? A professional athlete considered like one of the greatest, not even just tennis players, athletes.
Yeah.
I considered.
Yeah.
Just like talking about taking weight loss medication.
That's crazy.
I think the obvious negative to this is that people, or young girls especially, probably look up to her, right? And being a spokesperson for GLP-1s is probably not a good look, right? Especially for those young kids coming up, right? Because it's not about shortcuts or any of that, right? It's like you're kind of telling them that it's okay,
exactly,
to
People are applauding her on that.
Really?
That she's making the stigma like it's not so bad. To
Yeah,
take weight
because
loss
nobody
medication.
wants to try it, right? They're like, it's okay to take a shortcut, right?
Yeah. Basically, no one wants to like work out or whatever. But it's weird because like what she's saying, like I imagine she worked out plenty.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and she
saying.
could afford
She's the last
like a
person I
diet
would-
chef, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And she couldn't lose whatever weight. And I don't know.
Exactly.
And she didn't even talk about it like it was a hormonal thing, or like she did talk about like being older and having a kid,
Yeah.
but she didn't tell you the science behind it. But in that commercial, she's like, "It's science."
Yeah.
Tell me the science behind it.
Yeah.
Like, little girls, little tennis players,
Yeah.
probably look up to her as like,
100%.
and now they're thinking like, "No, this is okay."
I mean, I feel like you guys remember the fat shaming era, right?
Yeah.
Where like, you know, a bunch of like Lizzo would get fat shamed and then
Yeah.
she started working out or whatever. I think
Yeah.
she's on something too, right?
She said she took it.
Yeah.
She said it didn't work for her.
Yeah.
So
which-
she said it's more of like a mindset or whatever.
or whatever that is, right? But I feel like
Need yourself not to eat because that's what the GLPs do.
yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, just trying this whole push with like GLP-1s and, you know, whichever brand you're using, to say that, you know, you should be using it unless you're like morbidly obese.
Yeah.
It's a wild take to me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think it just requires like discipline.
Yeah.
It just requires people to get into the gym, start
Yeah.
eating right. And I think like that's harder for somebody who's morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Right? But for somebody who's like her, she's an athlete.
Exactly.
Right? Like, could she have lost 31 pounds naturally? I'm sure she could have.
Yeah.
Right? Is it easier to just inject yourself with the shit and just lose some fat?
But
Sure.
why? So do you think she's lying?
What do you mean?
That she couldn't?
I think potentially she could be because she has every resource right in front of her. She's a professional athlete.
Yeah, training 5 hours. If I trained 5 hours
And then
a day,
she backs it up with an ad.
I'm sure she's not full out lying. It's somewhat of a hyperbole, right? She's exaggerating a little bit, right? Like, it's like if you want something like that that's drastic, everyone knows their body type, right? Like if she, I'm guessing because she was a tennis player and an athlete, she had high muscle mass, right? So GLP-1s don't just take away fat, right? They take away muscle mass as well, right? So if it's going to be extremely effective on somebody like that to lose weight, right? But bone density, I just saw a study the other day. They were saying there's linked to a whole bunch of negative side effects. There's even, I think there's a class action
there's a lawsuit against them right now.
So
it's like all the severe side effects, including like vision loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another thing to consider, right? Like we're just started.
So much to consider.
We just started talking about plastics now, right? We've been eating them for centuries, right?
Centuries. Credit cards haven't even been around for centuries. This guy thinks plastic. Yeah, but you go ahead. Decades, yes.
Sure, decades. The point I was trying to make, I forgot.
Thanks for Tinder.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, like I feel like you don't have enough evidence or studies done on these things to just be pro it out of nowhere for that long, right? I think that's
the thing. Yeah, that's where I was headed. You never want to be first to market with something, right? Just like even the first iPhone or probably the first car, you don't want to just be the first one to jump in there or use it, right? It's gonna have defects, problems, right? There's just a little bit of studies coming out.
I also read a statistic that I think it's like 6 to 12% of Americans are now using GLP-1s just for weight loss. That's like 20 million people.
That's crazy. That's a high percentage, man.
That is a high
They just passed it in Canada too, right? It's for diabetes only.
No, you could use it for like PCOS as well. I think it also is used for weight loss. Here. But
there's
there's
not
like
going to be covered for weight loss here.
I think it depends on your insurance. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But people use it. I've seen celebrities that are skinny that use it.
Like,
That like they'll say, "Oh yeah, I have PCOS," or just I don't know, like
Don't
the line between using it.
Don't you think like a lot of people, I think no matter how skinny or how fit they might look, they have this weird insecurity that they're fat or whatever. And those kind of people, don't you think it's a little bit dangerous for them to then just be able to inject themselves and now just look like skeletons?
For sure.
Like do people find these like malnourished looking faces like is that attractive to people?
Ozempic face?
Yeah. Do people think that's a good looking face?
I don't know, man.
Right? Like
or people have insecurities. You can't really like talk about that. Like not that you can't talk about it, but you can't take it away from somebody if somebody's insecure about something.
For sure.
But I think like medication for the most part should be used for what it's going to fix.
What it's intended, right? This is a diabetes drug at the end of the day.
Like, okay, for me personally, I have a bias because I'm the type of person who doesn't even like to take Advil unless I have to. I don't like to do any of that shit. The least amount of medication I can take, that's what I want to do. Right. So to me, that it's better if you do none of that, right? Because you don't know the side effects of this, right? But people want to inject their bodies with this shit and then figure it out later, right? That's one side of it. But the fact that she's an athlete and now she's an advocate for this, it is a little weird because of the incentive structure. It's weird. If you're hearing an athlete who works out telling you that this
what's
is
that
okay,
messaging? It's weird.
Right? But then
promoting it.
But then people have problems with steroids. I don't
Isn't
get
this cheating?
Yeah, like I don't get it, right? Like it's from the same train of thought, right? You shouldn't have problems with steroids either. Then.
Yeah, maybe we won't. Maybe that's where we're headed. There's like a steroids Olympics. That one.
We've talked about it. It's a weird situation.
So that's all we got for off topic.
Okay,
let's move on to the question segment. So we'll start with how many years would you go without the following? And the years are 3, 6, 9, and 12 years. So number 1, how many years would you go without laughing out loud?
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I like to laugh.
I can't do that.
We just talked about how important happiness is. And if you can't laugh, how are you going to be happy, right?
I don't know what's coming next, but I think I would just mess that up.
3. I think 3.
Or you'd be sad.
You have to pick one, 3, 6, 9, or 12.
You think it's all emotions?
I don't know.
Let's go 3.
You can laugh in your head. and smile.
Like a
I need the
psychopath.
noise anyway. What the
He sounded like
Yeah,
a
you
horse.
Oh, man. I think
know.
we'll go 3 then.
Yeah.
Silent laugh and smile. So
Psychopath.
three.
3, yeah, sure.
Okay, the next one
Yeah.
is how many years would you go without seeing friends or family in person? So you can still call them or FaceTime them, but you can't. How many years would you go without seeing them in person?
You need it.
And not counting your like immediate family that you live with.
But if I see my family and friends in person, I want to laugh with them. So it's a good thing the laughing was 3. So this would be 6, right?
Yeah, it would be
What else is there? 3, 6,
9.
9 and 12. It just gets
So it
worse.
feels like 12. I don't even see anybody.
There was a period a couple years ago where you didn't really see anybody. We got through it.
Oh yeah, that's
Right?
true. We got
Probably
through it.
not as hard as we think. We could Skype every
But I think
time. And
your family includes your immediate family. Your
no, you said
husband
not including
Yeah.
the people you live
Oh.
with.
Yeah.
He's like, that changes everything. Screw everybody.
And the people you do a podcast with.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's
12. Or 12? Whoa. You never want to see anyone ever again.
I mean, if the 4 of us can be in the same room, and I feel like you're
There's no monetary aspect to this, right?
No, they just
Oh,
pick the
then I don't
years.
okay. We'll go 9.
9?
9.
9 years. Okay, the next one is how many years would you go without complaining or expressing frustration?
That's hard.
That's hard.
That's
as much
really
as
hard.
Yeah, it's like
Go a day.
I
can pretend to
complain
be
all the
perfect.
time.
Yeah, we know that.
Well, you only have 6 years or 12 years left.
Ah, damn,
We
that's
gotta
gonna
go
go 6. The negative thing we put up.
I gotta laugh and complain.
We get
But I laugh and complain to
Right?
my family and friends. So
Yeah,
who do I laugh
we
and
love it, man.
Well, you're not gonna like that you guys left this.
12?
12. How many years would you go without privacy? Everything you do is watched publicly.
12
Oh
years.
my
That's
god!
why we butchered them.
At least we're laughing, right?
At least you get to laugh. But then you're on Truman Show.
3 years.
Whatever, 12-year reality show.
Yeah.
3 years of silence.
They may
First
not
3 years
really-
would be so boring.
We do a little bit of it with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, last question. If you could live in any movie or TV universe but had to stay there forever, which one would you pick?
That's a wild one.
That's something I've never considered.
Never ever considered, but my mind either goes to time periods or superheroes. Right? So it's either the Marvel Universe
Hmm.
and I am Iron Man
Really? I thought you'd be Captain America.
or Captain America. Iron Man suit's cool.
Yeah.
One of either.
Why did I think you were going to say The Simpsons or something?
Yeah,
Why would
that's
I-
the first thing I thought
You
of.
thought cartoons?
The first thing I
like
thought of.
superhero or time periods.
The
Just as
Simpsons.
like The Simpsons.
I don't know. That was the
This is
first thing I
not bad. The house is cool.
It would be
Right.
cool.
You'd want
Like,
to live in
wouldn't you
that?
want to live in the Friends universe? Don't you love Friends?
I do.
Show, but the actual universe is
It's
not
the
cool.
same universe.
What is it
It's
like?
just a world.
Live in
It's just
here.
people that are like single for so long.
Yeah.
Complain.
When you can live in a fantasy world like Harry Potter.
Oh, that'd be
Like-
cool. I picked that.
Yeah, we all picked that. Harry Potter is a good one.
Harry Potter's
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Look at that either.
You got
I was
any
thinking
other
TV
examples?
shows.
Yeah.
Harry Potter?
Game of Thrones.
Hell no, why do I want to go there?
Yeah,
Everyone dies there.
Dies there.
I'm going Marvel. I'll go Marvel.
I mean, Harry Potter.
I'll go Avengers Saga. And I'm Iron Man.
Harry Potter.
No, Andy, pick something.
Relax. You're not.
Harry Potter.
I'm Iron Man.
I'll go with Simpsons, sure. I'll be friends with Homer. We'll just,
Homer's pretty dope.
we'll just go
man.
chill at Moe's all day.
Yo, that's a happy life, man. He doesn't stress. He's got it right.
Yeah.
And with that, remember, we're not experts at anything. You guys should always do your own research no matter what anyone else says. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Take care, everybody.